Hi, my name is Ridwan, and I am one of the co-founders of PalaceNotes. PalaceNotes is the iPad app where you create note palaces. Note palaces allow you to both stack and connect pages together in a way that really makes sense. A note palace is a unique way of organizing notes and taking them to create connections between your ideas. This makes things a lot easier to understand and remember for later use. A stack is just what you'd have as regular notebooks. As I'm flipping through these pages right now, that's kind of what a stack is. Nothing too new. Connecting, however, is something that's novel that we've created, and I'm going to show you an example of that right now. So this is a note palace about photosynthesis, and if you remember from high school or college, that photosynthesis is not an easy concept to understand. There is a lot of information and a lot of moving parts, and so I decided to restudy it, go through the pain of that, and do some cool note taking with it. If you look on the page, you'll see a lot of boxes with these dotted outlines on them. And each of these dotted outlines are a connection to another page. So if, for example, I click on cellular structure, it takes me to a page about cellular structure and has all of the information relevant to that there. If I go back and I go to light dependent reactions, it shows the 4 steps of that. And then if I click on one of those, it takes me to more details about exactly how that happens. So regardless of how complicated something is, or how much information there is to put together, there's always space for it. You can always keep it in its actual context. And so, um, with this comes the question, how do you create a connection? Is that something that's really complicated to do? And the answer is actually no, not at all. I'm going to show you how to do that. So on the right over here, you have all of your classic tools for note taking. So over here, right, these are all your classic tools, the pen, inserting images. But this magic wand button right here is what's special. When I click on that, it opens up the connection editing menu. And I'm actually going to delete the light independent reaction connection because I actually haven't written anything in there. So I can delete that. And all I'm doing is drawing a shape over the part of the page that I want to make a connection, pressing the check mark, and that's it. That's all it takes to create a connection. And then when I tap on that, it prompts me, hey, do you want to create a new note or do you want to connect the note somewhere else? A cool thing to note is there's actually a big picture view mode that allows you to see a huge map of all your notes, and I'm going to show you that next. So here we're in big picture mode, and what you can do is start pressing buttons to expand those connections that you made over time in your notes. So if I press this +4 on the photosynthesis page we were just on, it shows the next 4 pages. And if I click on the light dependent reactions that I had showed you earlier, it gives you all the details for that. And so by doing that, you start to get an understanding of what your notes and knowledge look like at a big level. And so earlier this year, we released the app to a closed beta, so a bunch of people got to try it out, and people have come up with all sorts of wonderful applications. We've personally been using it for business model development because things get pretty complicated. A lot of people have been using it for project ideation, for writing projects, for organizing things. You can be as creative as you want and let PalaceNotes take care of all the organization, so it's really nice. And then the most popular application has been demystifying things. When you're granted the ability to chunk and break things down really easily, then it becomes easier to understand what's going on, and that's really nice. If you're curious about this project and do want to learn more, you can check us out at palacenotes.com. Have an excellent week, and thanks so much for listening.